Right.
We're live to whatever part of the internet's left.
Alrighty.
Oh God.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's whatever. It's Good Friday, but is it a good Friday?
Is it? What's good about it?
I don't know.
I keep getting this error when I go to do a post that says something about new ticket for WooCommerce support.
Yeah, Harrison just pinged me about that. I gotta.
Okay.
Once we get done with this, I'll see if I.
Well, I didn't mean to imply that you had to take care of it. I just wasn't sure if it was a.
Yeah, it's something with an update to the subscription stuff. Somewhere.
All right, would you just get off your ass and fix it, please?
I just-
I don't know.
Let's see.
No. Good Lord.
You can hear my daughters watching My Little Pony upstairs, and it is approximately 85 decibels loud.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My daughter has started watching Ozark.
Hmm.
I don't know if you watch this show. We're watching
I've seen it it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, the third season just came out. They're really jumping the shark. Well, it's just like they're really escalating the, violence and drama. And it's like, I don't understand where you can go from here. You've really put this thing over the top. I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Yeah. The only redeeming quality of My Little Pony is that Patton Oswalt is one of the ponies, which always kind of blows my mind because I hear it in the back. I'm like, is that Patton Oswalt? And yeah,
That's funny.
In fact, it is.
He's part of the new Mr. Science Theater as well. Yes.
Trolls 2 comes out, or is out. I'm going to be watching that tonight. That'll be great.
Yeah, great. I'm having a hard time focusing. I'm sure that's normal. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean. All right, you ready? Because we got like 10 seconds to start writing right on time. The train's leaving the station.
Okay.
See, I was trying to be polite and tell you rather than just smashing the button like usual. But
I wouldn't have noticed either way. It's fine.
we were back, unlike yesterday, which was
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah. So here's the sign that I shouldn't have done what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally threw away my Surface Studio box, like the box that it comes in. Like I still use the Surface Studio. My daughter uses it to doodle on and whatnot. And on Wednesday evening, I put it out for the trash. Like I threw the box away.
Right.
Approximately, I don't know, 4 hours later, like ridiculous storm comes through, like up to 75 mile an hour, like flatline winds just wrecked the area, like micro bursts, just a gargantuan amount of rain. That Surface Studio box ended up somewhere in like Narnia. I don't know where. It just got blown down the street. My wife like drug it back.
I thought you were going to say it took down a pole, and that was the reason the electricity went out. The box is so big, it took down an entire telephone pole.
And we lost power at, I don't know, like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and it did not come back on until yesterday evening. And which, any given circumstance sucks, but it's like extra suck when you can't, like in other areas around us had power. What happened was there's a substation nearby and something fell on it and like just blew up a transformer. Like the kind that sit on the ground apparently. And like our like region, little neighborhood area, like of 1,000 people or whatever, just didn't have power. Other areas did, but it's not like we could just go walk the mall or just go hang out at Best Buy, because then we'd all die from the plague. And so like we were stuck inside. We couldn't open the fridge for reasons, because we're trying to keep it as cold as possible. Like there's no Netflix, there's no internet, there's nothing. It was, thank God the power came back, because the murdering like intensity was just ratcheting it up. And
what did I write to you? I think at some point, it was late in the afternoon, and you said something like, "Power's still out," and I'm like, "I think it's time for us to discuss cannibalism."
I was like, not opposed at this point, but everything appears.
I mean, you have to make a decision. And
but everything appears to be back to normal. I mean, now we're just back to like can't go to the grocery store stuff. So whatever.
Right.
So here we are. And so the moral of that story is I shouldn't have thrown away my Surface boxes because that was like the wrath of God saying like, no, you shouldn't get rid of that stuff. It's sacred. And
I don't see. I think you got the wrong lesson out of this. I don't think that's. I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, well, that's what's been my past 48 hours or so or whatever. And so here we are on Friday, live show, and we are back. And things that aren't back, though, which the news dropped in. Mary Jo beat me to this by a few hours. Surface Neo got punted until at least 2021.
Right. Maybe it should just get punted.
Yeah. So that, I mean, you can't ignore that part of the conversation. So here's the other thing. I don't think Mary Jo had this in her stuff. So she did have that Windows 10X. They're going to focus on single screen devices. Like that's like kind of the
as
logical,
they always should have. Yep.
Yeah. Like nobody's surprised by this. Like this is like really guys.
Some people are, but yeah.
Anyways, so I think we might get a build of this sooner rather than later.
Of 10X.
Yeah.
Oh, so like okay.
Maybe build.
It seems like
something.
it's the right way to test it.
Yeah, if only they had some sort of program where they could test this stuff and help get
bunch of people they could A/B on.
Yeah, and maybe get on some hardware variants and yeah. So I don't know exactly when, but it seems like there's going to be a build of that coming at some point before this hardware ships. Probably much before this hardware ships.
Yeah,
so
yeah, good.
Yeah, so we'll all get to play with it for we'll all download it, put it on, play with it 20 minutes, be like, and then go right back to what we were doing. But
well, I mean, yeah. So unfortunately, I mean, I like a lot of people listening to this, I'm sure have specific requirements that won't be met by this software. But Photoshop will run poorly, I'm sure. Visual Studio non-starter, but I mean, for like a bringing up Word and web browser and an email program, I mean.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Yeah, no, it'll give us something to talk about for a while.
Right.
But I do think that it's pretty telling when you see like every executive showing off their Surface Duo recently, and Surface Neo is just not even like.
Yeah, you think You think the Windows one or the Windows one would be more interesting.
Yeah, like you don't even like see it in like the background of people's images or anything. Like it's nowhere. So.
Right.
There you go. So we got Surface Neo 2021. That's the second major Surface product, by major in quotations that's been announced and then not shipped on its timeline. The first being the earbuds. So
Oh,
that's why I was like,
what are you
major.
talking about? Like, oh, the earbuds. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's their. Are those the last two products, sort of? I mean, the Duo I think is still on track. Actually, I think could probably ship tomorrow if Microsoft probably really wanted to. So
I assume they're going to wait for Android 11, but I guess.
well,
not.
it's already got an old chip in it, so why?
Yeah.
I mean, that would actually be an interesting question. So let's say it does ship with the old version of Android. How quickly are they going to be updating this thing?
Yeah. I bet they do a pretty good job. No, really. I mean, they love to ship updates. We all know this.
Wait.
No, I mean, I'm serious. Like,
they will ship updates as they please. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Microsoft announces here. I don't know, over the next 6 weeks or so, because we should be getting the next generation Surface Book here and the next generation Go, I believe, soon. I originally think they were actually going to be out around now, but obviously some things have happened if you haven't been aware, Paul.
what do you mean?
I don't know. Like somebody slapped the Monopoly board, and now we're pushed back a little bit.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to look. It's more like a Jenga thing, but yeah, it's just, yeah. However you want to frame it, hasn't been going great.
House of Cards was not supposed to be a documentary.
Exactly.
But here we are.
Yeah.
So what else is going on? It's Good Friday. The Easter Bunny's out getting slaughtered.
Yeah, I don't know. I left the house. I've been leaving the house to walk, but I actually got in the car and drove somewhere to pick up some food today for the first time in
Survived?
a week. Well, so far, I mean, you'll see, right? I mean, I think every time you leave the house, you're taking your life in your hands, apparently.
Yeah. Stadia is...
Pennsylvania drivers still drive like dicks, so that was fun to witness. Haven't gotten in the car in over a week, and the first time in a car, I'm like, seriously, the speed limit says 45, not 20. Grandma, let's go.
You're not getting any younger.
No, they're not.
So some crazy things have happened since we did chat last, which was Wednesday, is that Google renamed all of their chat applications again. So they've got, or their enterprise stuff, it's like Google, it's no longer Google Hangout, it's Google Meet and just Google Chat instead of Google Hangouts Meet, Google Hangouts Chat, Google Hangout Android 11, whatever they're calling it. I'm
okay with all that. That's fine. I don't know if you've read any of those interviews, and I always butcher this guy's name, but Javier Soltero was the guy who left Microsoft. So he's been in the news a lot lately because he's talking to everybody, different publications, TV and web, whatever, and provides a little tidbit here and there. But I can't remember which one it was, but one of the publications asked him about Google's messaging strategy, and he kind of laid it out in kind of a no-nonsense fashion. He's like, I really don't see what the problem is. He goes, we have this, and we have this, and we have this, and that's our strategy. That's what we have. It's fine. And they've killed a bunch of products in the past. It's obviously a lot of that was kind of consumer focused. I mean, what he's talking about is the stuff you just mentioned, and the way I just thought it was kind of interesting. He was like, I don't see the drama here. We've got these things. They're fine. That's what we're using.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's there you go.
Opinions vary,
Yeah, I guess that's fine. And until they introduce another one, and then you're like, that's when it. Yeah. Well, while you're figuring out their chat apps, you can now play Stadia for free, or at least Stadia Pro for 2 months if you really want to play about 9 games.
Yeah, it's a tough time to be a streaming game service.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not stopping Amazon from spinning up their thing, although Amazon has just an incredible marketing muscle. So I wonder if theirs is going to be included with Prime.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
There's probably definitely going to be a tie-in. If you're a Prime member, get it 12 months.
You get it cheaper or something. Yeah. Like they do that with Google. Amazon Music Unlimited is probably $2 a month cheaper or something if you're on Prime or whatever. There's a model there for sure. I mean, that's a unique advantage they have, Yeah.
What's going to be really interesting too is when they see you searching for an Xbox or PlayStation 5 or whatever. It's like, hey,
Oh, they've never done anything like that.
no, I mean, they're not gonna.
You probably also believe that 5G is causing coronavirus. What's wrong with you?
Let's go burn down some towers, shall we? We haven't.
The only good news in that story is that it proves that not all the idiots are in our country. But, congratulations, I guess.
Not that we needed any confirmation. I mean,
I guess, yeah. It's just nice to know you're not alone, especially these days.
That's not struggling by yourself. Like it's
Yeah.
got cold too.
Yeah, it snowed today, dude.
Oh.
I went for a walk and I got snowed on. I mean, not a lot, but enough to be insulting.
This is why Cincinnati was almost like knocked off the map, is because we had our air on. We turned our AC on for the first time.
Yeah, that's right.
It was 85 outside.
Yeah.
And today it is 42 right now. 44.
Yeah, same here. And I don't know why. Maybe it was colder in the atmosphere or something, but multiple times. In fact, when I drove out to get the food, it snowed then too. And it's like, guys, seriously, like what's going on here? But it's going to get nicer again. It will be nice.
Yeah, I think the weekend's supposed to warm back up. It's
Yeah.
these are trying times. I hope everyone's trying to stay happy, stay healthy, and as long as you have power, just know that it could be worse, because it goes downhill pretty quick from there. When you,
Yeah, I would think so. I don't have a lot in the way of paper books.
my daughter was
Reading like cereal boxes and stuff.
I don't think my daughter quite grasped it, because I saw her try to turn the TV on. She's like, "This TV doesn't work." I'm like, "Yes, we don't have power." So she walked to another one and went like, "This TV doesn't like."
I don't know if it was like I think it was Simpsons. It was a joke like that. It's like the power's out. I can't play the PlayStation. Whatever. It was like, that's fine. I'll just watch Netflix. And he's like, "Don't." And he's like, "Well, that's okay. I'll just It's like everything he does is electronic, and it's like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm trying to finish up I was actually trying to work on it yesterday, which worked out poorly, because then I realized I couldn't get to Google Photos. I was trying to write up the basement remodeling, because I'm like,
Oh yeah.
halfway. I keep saying I'm about halfway done, but then I keep realizing it's longer than kind of anticipated. And then I couldn't get to Google Photos yesterday for obvious reasons. And then
You could have shared them with me on the phone. I could have printed them out, mailed them to you, and then you could have scanned them in. Oh wait, then you'd have to upload them.
Yeah, I mean, I could obviously get to my phone, but that was part of it. So that's that. The good news is that our AC worked. Not that it shouldn't have, but it was brand new. We literally never used it, so there was a little bit of like, let's just make sure this thing turns on before the apocalypse happens again, and they won't come out and fix it. But
Sure.
yeah, I don't know. Not a whole lot else going on. I'm going to play a bunch of Warzone this weekend. I won a game last night. That was fun.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention to you. So I got the update for that for season 3, and contrary to what I said earlier and what I read in the PlayStation blog, which I don't know if you ever went and looked at, but they made it sound like none of this stuff was coming off PlayStation for months. And I saw something online that said it was like a Call of Duty tweet or something, and it was like for all platforms or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, interesting. So I did get to play the new maps. Unfortunately, I just did like the mosh pit thing. So it's always like these map modes. I don't really care about like headquarters or domination or whatever, but that's okay. But that like backlot map is original Call of Duty, original Modern Warfare, and it's got to be in the top 10 of all time.
Oh,
It's one of my favorites. It's excellent. But the other thing they did, which I always thought they should do, in fact, they did it with both. There's 2 maps that shipped with the new Modern Warfare that are just humongous. Like they're crazy big.
Yeah.
And they're too big. And so for like a 6 or 8 on whatever multiplayer, it's awful. Like you just run around, and then you run it forward a mile, and there's a guy sitting behind a tree and he kills you, and then you start back a mile back, and so they took those 2 maps and they shrunk them down. So they have smaller versions, and like those, like I actually like both those maps, and the small versions like actually make sense, like for multiplayer. So that's good.
Yeah, that's good. I was trying to think too what else. I kind of, because it was announced yesterday, I realized that Teams also has a bajillion minutes of usage. Like nobody's surprised there. But the fact that it doubled from, what was that, March, like 2 weeks ago, is little interesting. Actually, I got some feedback from people who are trying to spin up new Azure like stuff, like just in data centers, and they're being told they're not allowed because there's effectively no capacity.
I can't say what the company is, but a friend of mine works at a major tech firm, and they've had really serious issues in Europe for weeks now, and it's the type of thing where you're like, if you, you spin one down and then go to spin it up again, it's been allocated to someone else, and it's gone. Like like they're losing resources like all over the place apparently. So yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, so if you've got plans on launching new products, I should say, in Azure, I would.
Not the time.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that Office 365 migration seriously, because they even said they're like throttling down like the transfer rates for that kind of stuff and all sorts of stuff. So
yep.
It's under pressure. So I don't know. You got anything else for today, Mr. Paul Thurrott?
No. I mean, I'll do Ask Paul today. Keep working on that stupid app. It's killing me. It's just, I don't know, it's just grown. It's so big. It's hard to keep. I can't. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's so much code. It's like it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, a little spaghettified.
Yeah. It's a freaking nightmare. Anyway, no, same old. I'll just keep doing what I do.
Yeah, I mean, if you get bored with that code, you could probably run that cable. That would be entertaining as well. I mean, don't.
I will. I have cameras to put up too. I just talked to my wife about this stuff. This will be happening. I was watching TV last night. I'm looking. We have like a what do you call it? Like a little table thing that TV sits on, and it's got drawers and stuff, and
like media cabinet kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a little short thing, but behind it is it's a crazy mess of wires. Like it's all.
Oh yeah.
And I've tried to clean this like multiple times, and I'm just afraid of disconnecting anything. One time in a nest of cables like that in my old house where we did have Ethernet, I plugged Ethernet in incorrectly after, in the process of cleaning, and I just had a cable looping on itself, like there were two ports, and they were disconnected to each other, and I was like, why doesn't anything work anymore?
Oh, yep.
Anyway, one of the problems with pulling this thing out from the wall, because that's where it's going to have to go, is like I'm going to have to rectify that. And it's like it's overdue, but it's I'm sure a lot of people have this. There could literally be a family of otters living in this thing for all I know. It's it's big.
Well, don't forget to deliver the ham to those otters this weekend for your
the ham.
Happy Easter dinner or whatever.
The traditional otter ham.
Yes, the otter ham. You think they have ham radios too back there? They could be eating ham while using their ham.
They're probably irradiated by all the electronics back there.
This podcast really went off the rails.
I don't know what's going on.
Getting a little slap happy with the
I'm just so tired all the time. Like I don't even. It's like you could do that Ethernet project, and I'm like, like I should. You're right. I have plenty of time.
Let's just, I don't know how many of our days we're into this, and my wife can hear me right now, but anyway, so it's like I come downstairs, like, because sometimes she and my wife are downstairs. My wife and my daughter are downstairs, and I'm upstairs working, I'm in the zone or whatever, and I come down, I'm like, oh, you guys are still here. Like, I haven't left yet.
You just see them and you turn around and go back. Like you go down to see the cover and then you just U-turn.
Right, can't play Xbox, otherwise she'll know. So there we go.
That's what headphones are for.
Yeah, just a couple times a week. All right, later.
Bye. Have a good one.